celebrating our connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio. Here are your hosts, Al Abrams and Judy Francis.
Judy's screening the calls right now at 1-866-405-8405. It's toll free, and she's the first voice you hear. Next to her is Ladybug, the studio stunt dog.
Sound asleep.
Next to me is Boog, the studio stunt cat.
Also sound asleep.
Dr. Debbie, she's awake.
Oh, good thing.
And she's our veterinarian. She answers all of your veterinary questions here. Dog father Joey Villani. Bobbie Hill working on news, and animal communicator Joy Turner answering all your questions toll free. Pet travel expert Susan Sims with more giveaways. And Vladi, the world-famous Russian dog wizard, who's asking us to all talk a little quieter today because he's a little bit hungover.
I'm going to go up behind him and scare him.
Yes, we've been extra
It cures hangovers.
noisy.
It really does. It's that sudden burst of adrenaline.
Well, he drinks all the time. I mean, I shouldn't be saying this on the air, but he drinks all the time, so I can't imagine why he would get a hangover.
Don't you think he'd built up a tolerance
That's
by
what
now?
I'm thinking. But it was his birthday yesterday. We believe his 25th birthday.
25 again.
Yeah. And he celebrated.
You guys are funny.
But he's here today to answer your questions. And we admire that. Because he did call and he did say, can I avoid coming in today? Is there anything I could do to avoid coming in today? We said no, absolutely not. Cat food recall in the news coming up. It appears IAMS food.
If you are an IAMS customer, you want to be here and be listening because the company has initiated a voluntary recall. We'll tell you the expiration dates, the product, and all the other info you need coming up in the news.
A lot of these recalls lately have been because of inadequate levels of vitamins or thiamine. Because these cats, they need a very complex diet. They can't eat what dogs eat. And it's really not that there's something in the food.
Right,
it's that there's something that's not in the food.
Right, and that's the case. Yeah. That happens to be the case this time. So we'll tell you what they found out was missing.
I understand another pet side poll says how much we're willing to spend or can spend on our animals when they go to the veterinarian. It costs a lot more to go to the veterinarian these days. They have all these new technological advances and different procedures, and it could cost a pretty penny to save your pet's life. How much are you willing to spend? For me, I'd beg, borrow, and steal, and have. I have a lot of animals right now that are sick that I'm in debt. I'm already in debt to my veterinarian, I'll tell you that right now. And we appreciate that. If you're having trouble working with your vet, ask them if they'll work with you, by the way. I know that Dr. Debbie works with a lot of her patients.
Most of the vets will. My vet would do that. She had a special pile of checks that were held until, say, the next pay period. I mean, they really will work with you.
They want your pet to get through. And they understand that it can be tough times.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's hit the phones. It's toll-free, 1-866-405-8405. Dr. Marty Becker in just a few minutes talking about reducing our carbon footprint with our animals. What you can do to help the environment. Getting green with your animals. Speaking of which.
Sorry.
Don't mind us. Boog, the studio cat, just walking across the computer here. I think he just erased everything.
I always joke around that my cat knows more shortcuts on my computer than I do.
More keystrokes, yeah. Yep. If you take any of the equipment here in the studio and you turned it upside down, you'd see hair flying out of it. This is,
techs don't like that.
No, they don't.
They
say
upset.
They don't want drinks in the studio here. They don't want drinks in the studio. Nope. They don't want pets in the studio. And so whenever like a tech comes in on a Saturday when we're doing the show, we take the cats, we put them in the closets. We take the drinks and put them in the closets with the cats.
Sometimes we put Hal in the closet.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, it's the Lizard King.
Who?
The Lizard.
Sub-reference.
Roadhouse Blues. Which must mean it's time for the Blue sponsorship.
Very good.
This Healthy Helping of Animal Radio brought to you by Blue Buffalo, makers of healthy and holistic natural food for dogs and cats. You love them like family, so feed them like family with Blue. Check out their brand new protein-rich Blue Wilderness, now grain-free. You can be sure your dog is getting all the meat he loves in a 100% grain-free recipe. Check it out, Blue Wilderness. Thanks for sponsoring Animal Radio, guys. What is he saying like there? He's saying like, Vaj, la, ba, la, la, la.
Honey, never try and really understand the lyrics of rock songs. Remember Jimi Hendrix? Excuse me while I kiss this guy? That's not the right words.
This is
Animal Radio.
celebrating our connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio. Here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
And I'd say the whole gang is here, but that's hardly the fact today.
Where's everybody?
There were some casualties.
Yes. Dr. Debbie is here. She's answering your vet medical questions. Bobbie Hill is with us doing news. Well, she's always here. In fact, she's here when we're not here. She always shows up early. Animal communicator Joy Turner, as well as Vlade, the world-famous Russian dog wizard, who's asking us to talk very quietly around him today. Because he's...
I wonder how come!
It was his birthday yesterday.
That's who's they celebrating?
I guess so. You know how those Russians
You got a
are.
hangover?
Do they call it a hangover in Russian?
I would imagine he doesn't look too happy now, but
It's a hangover ski.
he's imbibed a little too much yesterday for his birthday. How old do you think he is? He's not saying, is he?
No,
A
he's.
little too much of the vitamin V
Yes.
vodka.
I'm guessing. I think he's around 47.
You're not supposed to guess real.
Oh,
Higher than that, Judy.
Okay, so we're almost all here. Toll free at 1-866-405-8405. Big news, cat food recall.
again.
Yeah, we're going to take an IAMS. They're doing, again, it's a voluntary recall, and I'll tell you the reasons behind it, and it has to do with the health and nutritional well-being of your pet. So you want to stay tuned. That's coming up in the news.
Okay, and you'll have the lot numbers and the dates and all of that stuff.
I
too.
will absolutely.
Very cool. I also see that another pet side poll in the news. How much would you spend on your pet if they were sick?
Well, it's how much can you
And
afford?
yeah, that's it. In this day and age, that's kind of the key.
Yeah.
Gee, I would give my pet every last penny if they needed it at the vet.
Now, a lot of people would, but their pennies don't go very far. They don't have as many pennies as they used to.
Okay, results.
Right, and if your pennies, come between saving the kitty cat or the dog versus feeding your kid and paying your rent, that's a tough choice to make.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, well, the results to that poll coming up in just a few minutes. Hey there.
Hey,
How are you doing today?
pretty good. Hope my dangly earrings don't hit the microphone. I think I'll be okay here.
Those are pretty cool. Where'd you get those? Those are sort of like 70s earrings. Those are,
Yeah, I'm not always fashionable, but it's my effort.
You look good today.
Yeah, thanks.
1-866-405-8405 to connect with any one of the dream team. That could be Dr. Debbie, or dog father Joey Villani, or Bobbie Hill, or animal communicator Joy Turner, Susan Sims, or Vlade, the world-famous Russian dog wizard. We're all here at your beck and call. We're going to which one?
Going to line 2.
To line 2. And Judy?
Yes.
Hi,
Yes.
Judy. How are you doing today?
I'm fine except for my little cat problem.
Well, what's going on with your cat?
Well, I have 2 ragdoll cats. They're young, a mother and daughter, and my son brought over his 2 cats, and they have visited here about 3 times. This time for a week. Otherwise, it's just been a weekend. But my cats are rude,
Ah.
and they
What are they doing?
They hiss at my son's cats, especially the boy, who is a wonderful, friendly, thick-skinned cat. He doesn't care how much they hiss at him. He just kind of hangs around and wants to play, but they won't make friends. Is there
Okay, so-
anything I can...
What reason are these babies coming together that he's visiting? Is he just coming home from, college for the weekend? Or?
No, my son and husband went fishing.
Okay.
And and I love all the cats, and that's my pleasure is to babysit for them. I'm babysitting.
Okay.
They're all house cats.
Okay. Well, I guess the first thing that I would want to say is that, you know what? I don't think the cats asked for this. And it's a little bit harder with cats versus dogs to throw them together, expect them to play nice, and expect them to act like dogs. Ooh, cover their ears. We don't want them to act like dogs. They're cats. And if we're going to have the kitties together for a long-term basis, that I would say, we can work on how to acclimate them. I am concerned that these short-term visits are doing nothing but stressing your cats out, and I don't know that it's going to be in their best interest. If it was a more long-term management where we need to keep them in the home, then we go through some strategies. The other solution I can say is if it's a situation where, the cats could be house sat in your son's home, that might be the most agreeable situation and not really stir up the the fur in the situation here. So those might be my first suggestions before I really kind of put your kitties through this transition. But if you do, then I would always make sure when we start this transition, you got to start gradual. Even if they were together 3 months ago and you're putting them together again, they almost need to be separated for about a week to 2 at a time. So that's where the challenges come when we try to acclimate them for just a short period of time. There's just not enough time for them to deal with the scents, some of the different issues with territory. So it can be done, but I think we're asking a little bit more of these kitties to behave dog-like. So I don't know if...
and there's no bloodshed or clawing or scratching or anything. It's just the rude hissing. And I've been trying. There's plenty of toys. Our cats share toys, and they don't have a fit when the other cats use their toys. So there's no trick like I leave them, with treats or toys or separate them and bring them together gradually and...
Yeah, well, you can do that, but the separation time I usually start with is about a week. So we would keep the visiting cats in a bedroom by themselves away from your cats for about a week's time. Then gradually what we do is we feed them on opposite sides of that door so we can make the scent of the other cats a positive thing, and we reward them. Then with time, if there's no hissing going on in the mix, then we can put those food bowls closer and closer to the door, and then eventually hopefully put them together with supervision, never leaving them alone. Because if they have a bad hissing bout and they're aggressive, even in a non-physical way, we've lost all of the efforts that you've tried to do in a gradual step. So you really just have to do that slowly over a period of time. And if they have a spat or they're hissing, you got to back away and wait 3 to 5 days. So that's, again, why I'm not too hopeful for your short-term situation. But I also love things like pheromones for cats that can help kind of ease some of their fears. So if you're kind of in that spot where you're going to have the kitties visiting, I'd get a pheromone diffuser. You can plug it into the wall, make them think happy thoughts, keep them separate, and make sure if you do put them together, we need ample resources. We need multiple litter pans. So if you got 4 cats, you need 5 litter pans. If you've got 4 cats, you need 5 different posts or different nesting areas that these guys can sit in. So the toys, it's an important thing to make sure they got enough of that stuff, but all these other resources are very important. So
they have,
you got your...
My son brings his own litter box and that they share at home and their own food thing.
Yeah, and even that, just...
The two of them don't get along that well.
Well, that's hard then. If the brother and sister are fighting, then that really throws a wrench in the mix. So, got a lot of work there, Judy. I hope that some of that can help you. And then, like I said, keep the kitties' thoughts in mind and what works best for them. If it's not going to be an ideal situation, got to do what's right for the kitties first. Thank you so much for your call. This is Dr. Debbie with Animal Radio at 1-866-405-8405.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
Animal Radio is brought to you by...
One Shot Plus Multi-Purpose Cleaner attacks everyday stains, pet stains, crayon marks, mildew. One shot and it's gone. Call 1-866-734-1120 or go to oneshotplus.com to get yours now.
As you all know, many emails. I would like to address 2 most common for the last few weeks, which I received. People asking me, Vladdy, what the heck dog training color you are always recommending? And my answer would be Herm Springer. It's a German. Herm Springer dog training colors. Very humane, very gentle, create a gentle grip through the neck, imitate a doggy mama bite, will not hurt, will not harm your pets. And this is would be starting point of dealing with unruly pets. I highly suggest you get for your little terrorist peach
He does
color.
have a very bad attitude.
We can keep complaining or we can take the actions. This is the only color I solely approve. They're very humane.
What is the name of it?
Prawn color with quick release by company Herm Springer.
And that's spelled HERMSPRENGER. And, of course, we have links at the Animal Radio website.
Got it.
Sometimes people are crazy. Dogs are okay. That's for sure.
Hello, this is Lauriston Crockett, creator and founder of The Gift for Life. The Gift for Life is the most powerful and effective anti-aging product for dogs in the world. This is a fast-acting product that is far beyond anything else you've ever seen. No more empty promises. I will give you a 100% money-back guarantee if The Gift for Life doesn't help, support, and rejuvenate your pet's health. Order today and change your pet's life tomorrow. www.thegiftforlife.com or call 877-373-6851.
When I went looking for a quality allergen-free dog food for Roscoe, a friend told me about canine caviar. Being a born skeptic, I examined every ingredient and, most importantly, made sure it drove our dog's taste buds crazy. Here's the lowdown. Canine caviar is holistic, allergen-free, with raw dehydrated meats, herbs, fish oil, and flaxseed for health and joint support. Good food for Roscoe from a company I can trust. Ask your pet store for canine caviar. Learn more at caninecaviar.com.
Well, almost the whole dream team is here. Dr. Debbie's here.
I'm here. I'm not a slacker.
You never are. You're always here. And if you're not here, it's because you're off saving animals somewhere.
Or I'm out camping in the remote woods and just the phones don't work there.
Yeah. Bobbie's working on news, and she has more information on the recall, as well as Susan Sims. Sorry about that. She's here today with more giveaways, and Vladdy, the world-famous Russian dog wizard, who celebrates a birthday. It's his birthday weekend, and he's
25 again.
He imbibed a little too much yesterday, and he's asking us to all speak quiet. So we're all yelling.
We're all talking really quiet.
Hey, happy birthday!
You would think he would.
I'm all for celebrating a birthday month, so he's got to keep it up for a month.
I would have thought he would have tolerance to vodka, as he says, but apparently not. Bobbie's working on a story where she says she came up to me every week. She comes up to me and she says, "Can I say this on the air?" And this week it was Sunny Dong. Can I say Sunny Dong on the air? And I really don't see any problem with it. I hope it doesn't offend anybody.
Name.
It's someone's name. Is the guy who stuffed a bunch of songbirds down his pants and
smuggled them.
With a name like that, you got to do something crazy.
He's been sentenced to federal prison, and we'll have more details in the news coming up. Also coming up in just a couple of minutes here, you have a kind of a story. This happens every year for you. You get frantic callers that call, and they say that their animals, their dogs, male dog and female dog, are stuck together. And it must be funny for you because you hear it every year.
Dog sex, it is kind of funny.
Okay.
But yeah, just the story itself is quite fun.
Okay, well, that's coming up in just a few minutes right here on Animal Radio. See, there's just a little bit of something for everybody here. Right now, we're hitting the phones for Vladdy, the world-famous Russian dog wizard, and we have Dee on the phone. Hi, Dee.
Fine, I'm Vladdy. Happy birthday.
Hi, Dee. Hi, my friend. Listen, before you open your mouth, please tell me, happy birthday, Vladdy.
He just did. It was the first word out of his mouth.
If I remember how to say it in Russian, I would have.
Okay. Днем рождения. Say in Russian. Днем рождения.
Okay. До свидания.
Okay, Dee. Go ahead. How can I help you?
I've got a boxer that has become very aggressive. He challenges the neighbors, and he'll chase cars, and he'll try to drag people off of four-wheelers now. How can I break him of that?
Dee, two questions to you. Number one. First of all, you're calling to the best man when it comes to aggression or separation anxiety. This is my two specializations. Now, if your boxer has already beat someone, did he put someone in the hospital or No. Okay, that's what because I know the answer, like a KGB. I know the answer even before you telling me, because I work with this breed and I love that breed, and I know one thing for sure: boxers like a bully. They like to pretend they're aggressive. They even acting like they're aggressive. But they have a good heart. And as long as you tell me there was no accident when they had contact with a human or dog and the dog bit you, I can assume your dog has, like many boxers do have, freedom, frustration, aggression, or leash aggression. So I do understand what you're dealing with. You are walking with your dog on the leash, and the dog goes on everyone, yes? And you see another dog wants to kill it, and he see the person wants to jump and whatever it is, and you assume your dog will bite. And I don't blame you, and possibly it could happen, but in the most likely it will not. Here is...
Bloody.
Go ahead.
No, when he's on the leash, he's fine. It's when he's off the leash, we live out kind of in the country, and he runs free out in the yard. And that's when we have trouble with him, because he fights the other dogs. They come up there and challenge him, and I understand that.
Okay, hold on. If he's fighting for the fence, or he's fighting literally, did he fight with another dog?
He fought with the other dogs. He comes back with bite marks all over him, where he's really fought with.
This is serious. This is serious. What about humans? What about humans?
No, he has never bit a human, but he has tried. He chases their four-wheelers. He even chases me on my lawnmower.
Okay, I got it.
Chase a car.
Did you bite you?
No, he didn't bite me. He didn't bite any human, but he just growls at the dog. I mean, at the car and the and the lawnmower.
Okay, dogs. And even though you're telling me he's fine on the leash and he's bad off leash, but it's again, he's bad off leash in confined environment, which calls freedom, frustration, aggression, which could be on the leash or in confined area. It's kind of the same thing, just has a different texture. But you already have a serious aggression toward other dogs. Now, just for your information and for everyone who is listening to us right now, dogs are born on one side of the scale or another. Some of them naturally well socialized toward other dogs and aggressive to the humans. And some of them is perfect toward the humans and bad toward other dogs. It's a very rarely we see both equally good toward people or equally good toward dogs. That's what it is. No one is created equally. Everyone created differently, and that's what's happening. Now, as the professionals, when we see those puppies on the early stages, which shows this type of the behavior, we can easily identify it and heavily resocialize it, and we make differences because dogs go through the critical stages of their developing. And now, by this time, how old is your dog?
He's about 4.
4 years old. Of course, all critical stages of puppy developing, young dog developing is missing. So now, all what we can do, just on the control issues. I have to tell you one thing, bitter, very, very bitter truth, biting truth. If your dog is already bit another dog in the past, it could happen. It can happen in the future. Any training is not panacea. It is not the guarantee for the result. It's just sharply increasing your chances for the result, and it's less possibly happening. And it depends who you're working with. Now, in your situation, I would seriously considering having professional working with you, because training aggressive dog, unlike anything else, you need to work under supervision of the person who knows what he's doing, because it's like learning how to drive car. You really cannot learn how to drive a car by reading the books. Education is important, but you have to have hands-on training. But if I could give you very short, my best possible professional advice, here is what I would do. I would really fix your problem regarding excitement and jumping and chasing people or any other moving objects. That could be very easy part. All what you need to do, just purchase pinch collar by company Hermspringer, German one. Even though we still in Russia loves Germans as much as Republicans loves Democrats. but we still adore their, genius of engineering. Hermspringer pinch collars make the best. Never scratch, never hurts your dog. It's like a doggy mama tea. Put the 6-foot leather leash, leather. In Russia we say I'm not so rich to buy the cheap stuff because cheap stuff is breaking all the time. So I got to get the expensive leather leash and put the pinch collar on. And after that, I would probably, if I were you, go on YouTube and type Russian Dog Wizard and find look at the videos which I'm teaching how to teach the dog walking on the loose leash and pay attention to you. Because all what you need to do, this concept of control is very simple. Make your dog worry about you or focus your dog on you, and your dog will be unfocused and not be able to be focused where another dog's moving objects, lawnmower, whatever you're dealing with. And once he's focused on you, you will praise him. Once he's focused on something else, you will correct him. When you use the pinch collar, make sure always have a slack. If you don't have a slack, you cannot pop. If you cannot pop, you cannot mimic the nature, doggy mama nature. I like how I say. Sometimes I say smart things. So that's what I would do. This needs to be addressed by professionals. Visit the website, which is dogpro.org. Dogpro professional. www.dogpro.org. It is International Association of Canine Professionals having the best, well-balanced dog trainers who will praise your dog if it's necessary, but will also correct your dog if it's necessary. Nowadays, it's very rarely to find a trainer because everyone just wants to kiss and hug. I wish it would work. It would not.
That's a good website to find good trainers, and if you're ever looking for a trainer, and we have links to everything you've heard on today's show, by the way, over at animalradio.com. 1-866-405-8405 to connect with any one of the Dream Team right now. Brooke O'Hara, all cat lovers.
How many cats do they have?
Dozens.
Hal, are you making that up?
No, he knows this stuff. He's a walking cat encyclopedia.
Hal, are you making that up?
Like she said.
Catlopedia. That's how.
I do know that there's a cat food recall. It's an IAMS food.
Yeah.
And you'll have in the news all the details, including the date.
Yes, we will.
And signs of what's happening if your cat gets exposed to this food for a long amount of time. So you'll want to be listening to this. It's very, very, very important. Dr. Marty Becker joining us today, ABC Good Morning America. They're a veterinarian over there. He has important news. Is it important? Yes, it's very important. If it wasn't, I would say it was anyway, right? Oh. Feels like we just walked in. Oh, this is what I'm supposed to do here?
Yes, Hal.
This portion of Animal Radio brought to you by The Gift for Life. If your animals are showing signs of slowing down with their age, check out The Gift for Life. They'll be acting young again. Order today and change your pet's life tomorrow with The Gift for Life at thegiftforlife.com. Also available at Whole Foods. That's what it says right there.
Dogs or cats, horse or emu, animals are people too.
Some describe seeing fireworks at romantic times, but fireworks seem to have blasted the libido right out of a once romantic ostrich in Germany. Rico Gabel is claiming over $6,000 in damages and wants the 3 boys responsible to pay up. His ostrich, Gustav, was once a fun-loving playboy who had no trouble romancing his 2 partners. But Gabel says 3 boys setting off firecrackers near his farm has made Gustav, the ostrich, apathetic, depressed, and just not in the mood for love for 6 months. His owner says the firecrackers were responsible for him losing on an estimated 14 ostrich offspring, worth about $500 apiece. The case is still in litigation, but the good news is Gustav is now feeling much better and able to be romantic once again. Thanks for asking. I'm Britt Savage for Animal Radio.
Animals are people too. Animal Radio.
This is an Animal Radio news update brought to you by World's Best Cat Litter, the only litter made from whole kernel corn.
I'm Bobbie Hill for Animal Radio. These uncertain economic times have a direct impact on veterinary care for most pets. According to an Associated Press PetSide.com poll, Money is indeed a major factor for the majority of pet owners. The results of the survey showed 62% of pet owners can handle a vet bill if it's under $500, but that percentage drops by 50% if the care goes up to $1,000. And if the vet bill costs $2,000, only 35% of those responding say they could handle it, while only 22% say they can afford a vet bill of $5,000. Sabu the elephant took a tour of the Swiss city of Zurich after escaping from the circus earlier this month. The AP reported no injuries or property damage while Sabu strolled around Zurich's commercial and banking district. She also took a brief dip in Lake Zurich, and that was before her keeper was able to bring her safely back to her trailer. A Florida man is probably thinking about relocating his stuffed water buffalo head. That's after it fell and trapped him in his recliner. True story. Last week, the Monroe County Sheriff's Department responded to a 911 call from a man who yelled his address to dispatchers. The AP story says the man was asleep in his recliner when all of a sudden gravity took hold and the mounted trophy fell from the wall above him, landed on his lap, and the horns literally trapped him in his seat. He was taken to a nearby hospital for treatment. I'm Bobbie Hill for Animal Radio. Get more breaking animal news at animalradio.com.
This has been an Animal Radio News Update brought to you by World's Best Cat Litter. Did you know being left unattended outside can put cats at risk for injuries and sickness? Feline leukemia and feline AIDS is much more prevalent among outdoor cats. Indoor cats live longer. Think about keeping your furry friend indoors. Get more tips at www.worldsbestcatlitter.com/radio.
Hi, this is Anne-Marie Lucas from Animal Precinct and the ASPCA. And when I'm not out busting bad guys for abusing animals, I am home listening to Animal Radio.
If you want to talk to Dr. Debbie toll free, 1-866-405-8405 right now. She invited us to one of her little veterinarian gathering parties. It was really weird. It was just all veterinarians, and they're a very strange type. They like weird smells, and they like to do all kinds of research. And you walk into the party, and they all lift each other's gums to look at each other's gums, and they snap their rubber gloves.
Flipping their lips.
And did they try and take your temperature, Hal?
I stayed away from that. But one of the strange things they were talking about is this weird phenomenon. It's where an usually unneutered male and an unspayed female are stuck together when they're having sex.
Ooh.
And she usually gets several calls a year from frantic people trying to separate their dogs with water or yelling to no avail. So they're talking about that. They're laughing at us behind our back. And I asked her if she would share this story when she comes on the air in just a few minutes. So you have that to look forward to. From ABC Good Morning America, Dr. Marty Becker is here. Do you really sit around and laugh about us?
I'm laughing.
He's laughing right now.
Just hearing this because everybody that's had a male dog, even if not all the testosterone is produced by the testes, even a neutered male dog, they get that swelling right in the middle, down below on what looks like the drive shaft on the dog. They get that swelling, and that's what swells up and locks. And what's kind of funny is these dogs will turn around backwards. That's the ones I like, because they're on there, they're turned around backwards, still inside the female dog, and they're both trying to get away.
Uh-huh.
And it's like being chained together. It doesn't work.
And the owners are going crazy, aren't they?
And I have to tell you something else funny. You made me think about veterinarians getting together. The funny thing is when small animal veterinarians get together with large animal veterinarians, because large animal veterinarians have had their hand up a cow's rear end during preg check season. And this is the funniest thing. They're like Andre Agassi or one of these, Pete Sampras or one of these, I don't even know the newer generation tennis players that always have one arm that's twice the size of the other arm. Because these cows constantly are squeezing your arm like, don't put your arm in here, don't put your arm in here, don't put your arm in here. And you end up with this one gigantic arm. So you can just look at a large animal veterinarian and say, yeah, he's left-handed, he's right-handed.
That's terrible, but so funny.
Okay. Well, good to know, and something that you'll be looking at your veterinarian next time. I know that Dr. Debbie, she doesn't deal with horses in her practice or any big animals like that.
I don't think so, no.
You're talking today about the carbon footprint, I believe, that we're leaving behind with our animals. I know every time I pop open a can of cat food, that's another can, and I could go through thousands and thousands of cans. That's why I actually changed to a food that doesn't have cans anymore. What else can I do? How can we reduce our pets' carbon footprint as well as our own?
Well, I'm starting to get passionate about this. I live up in a horse ranch 17 miles north of the northernmost city in Idaho, and we literally just got back from a recycling center. So, you know, the more pet food you feed in a can, the more you're going to have waste products. And I want to give you kind of the highlights of what to do.
Okay.
First of all, it's feeding your pet differently. When you buy a bag of food or a kind of food, buy the largest size possible. And if you can, split it with a neighbor, a friend, a family member, a coworker. It's so much cheaper in a larger size, and there's so much less waste product to get rid of. I'm really becoming a fan of these natural and organic foods. They just have a lot higher quality ingredients and greater nutrient density, so there's less waste to clean up. I'm going to give you a fact that's going to shock you guys.
Okay.
There's 73 million dogs in the United States, and they create, you ready for this, 10 million tons of poop every year. Not 10 million pounds, 10 million tons.
Wow.
And most of this goes straight to the landfill in a plastic bag.
Right.
Yeah. No. So what I really want you to do here, there's some environmental concerns about dumping stuff in landfills and things, too. I really want you to think about doing things that are more biodegradable. So there's a product called the Doggy Doo Drain that was one of the winning products from the Global Pet Expo. It fits on a septic tank clean-out or on a sewer, this little sewer line connection you have.
Mm-hmm.
You just take the poop, you drop it in there, and it runs through the sewer system or the septic system, so you don't have to throw it in the landfill. And these clay litters that we get all the time, they're already at the end of their biodegradability. They're strip mined, and when they go in the landfill, that clay stays just like clay. Think of some more environmentally friendly litters that you can get that are made out of pine, recycled newspaper, corn husk, palm trees, all sorts of stuff that's biodegradable and natural. The other thing is to get cleaning products, grooming and cleaning products and parasite control products that are safer. There's a line called PAWsafe that got the Good Housekeeping seal of approval, and I've had the folks at Good Housekeeping call me several times asking me if products are, what I think of these products. It's not easy to get that seal of approval.
Mm-hmm.
And these are vegetable-derived surfactants and the organic pigments and stuff, and they clean just as well as other things, but they're environmentally safe. I practice in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and about 2 blocks away is a Petco, and Petco has this natural neighborhood store now. So
oh, really?
It's called the Natural Neighborhood. They have the largest selection of natural organic pet foods of any retailer. But it's not just Petco. I send a lot of people over to Petco, but check around your local store. I always like you to shop locally if you can, and ask them about some of these more environmentally friendly products. And also, when you use those poop bags, even use an environmentally friendly poop bag that'll biodegrade, not a plastic one. And so if you feed them a better quality food, they'll have less waste. If you don't put that waste into landfill, but do things where it'll auto-digest.
These are all awesome tips. And you know what? I'm just thinking, okay, well, the poop bag dispenser that we're giving out today has 40,000 poop bags. These are all biodegradable.
Perfect.
And that's the key.
120 days, they'll be gone. And so we got that. We love that. Of course, World's Best Cat Litter is whole kernel corn. So we're dealing with, yes, we love that.
Yes.
And Stella and Chewy's is the food that you don't have to open the can or do that whole thing there. So,
right.
Well, these are
one other thing I want to shout out real quick. I just did a Good Morning America segment on pet allergies. I want to tell you just really quick some of the changes that are different than your listeners know of.
Okay.
I was taught 30 years ago when I graduated from veterinary school, don't bathe your pets very frequently because it strips the essential oils off the skin.
Yeah, that's
wrong.
It's wrong?
The number one cause of allergies in pets is flea allergy dermatitis, so you got to take care of parasite control for fleas. Number 2 is environmental allergic dermatitis, which is caused by allergens in the environment. So pollen, spores, dust moles. Now, veterinary dermatologists recommend during the allergy season that you bathe your pets at least once a week.
Wow. Okay, so it's okay to do that.
Good. I do it anyway. I'm glad I'm not stripping my dog's oils.
And if you need to, if you're having trouble, you can use wipes and do kind of dry baths, especially for cats too. But according to veterinary pet insurance, the top 3 claims last year, every single one had an allergy component.
Wow.
Bad ears, open sores or pyoderma, They all had an allergy component. So if you bathe them more frequently, that's really going to help. Keep the environment cleaner. Use those Swiffers and those electrostatically charged products to keep the thing cleaner. And then, there's also some other new products available from your veterinarian that can really help them from suffering. But the first thing is bathe them more frequently.
Okay, we're going to put all these tips over at the website. And then, of course, I want to encourage you to check out Dr. Marty Becker's website at petconnection.com. You're doing the Facebook and the Twitter thing, too, right?
Yeah, I love coming on your guys' show. Thanks for having me.
We have so much fun. We learn so much.
We do, every time.
Cool.
Look at her. Look at Ladybug.
She's being cute, but this is radio, so no one can see that.
I know, that's too bad.
I see Dr. Debbie has a weird story coming up about one of her patients whose dogs, a neutered male and unspayed female, they were stuck. I guess they were stuck together. Is that the deal?
Yeah, that's what happens.
Uh-oh.
For a long time. They say for us, 4 hours, go seek help at the hospital. Apparently, it was longer than 4 hours for these guys.
You know how we've all seen that Christmas story about the kid that gets his tongue stuck to the pole, yeah, because it's wet. Well, when I was growing up, there were dogs in our neighborhood that were stuck, and my mom would say it was because the wetness, and they got stuck because of the ice,
the pole,
yeah. But,
I'd explain it to the kids that way too.
Yeah, but as I grew up, I found out it was different than that.
Well, apparently, this is not an isolated incident. This happens a lot, especially with unspayed and unneutered animals. Vladi, the world-famous Russian dog wizard, who's asking us to talk quiet today because he's a little bit hungover from his birthday celebrations yesterday. I think that's his way of saying, call up and wish him happy birthday.
Or send more booze.
Yeah.
More vodka, please.
Vodka.
This is
Animal Radio. Hi, I'm Steve Garvey, and I'm here with my good friend, actor, and pet food guru, Dick Van Patten.
Hiya, Steve. It's good to see you.
Dick, my two dogs have been on your natural balance for years. They love it. They look great. So what's the secret?
It's simple. Our formulas are developed by top nutritionists and based on scientific fact. And then they're made with the best ingredients.
It's just a winning combination.
It is. Just like Russell to Lopes to Garvey.
Thanks for that. Hey, everyone. If you love your pets like I love mine, try Natural Balance.
Remember how energetic your dog was as a puppy? If you could give your senior pet his youth and vitality back and relieve his aches and pains, would you? The Gift for Life works to signal your pet's life-giving hormones back to a more youthful balance. The Gift for Life can help repair damaged cells, leading to amazing anti-aging effects and a longer, healthier life. Give the gift of youth back to your furry companion with The Gift for Life. Learn more about the science behind The Gift for Life at thegiftforlife.com.
We get lots of food samples here at Animal Radio, so we can be picky about selecting a healthy food. If you're a regular listener, you know Ladybug is one finicky diva. When we got a sample of Stella and Chewy's, the healthy ingredients were there, but would she eat it? I'm here to tell you she ate it as fast as we put it down and begged for more. We feel good about feeding our dog Stella and Chewy's, and we want you to try Stella and Chewy's too. Visit StellaandChewy's.com or call 888-477-8977. That's 888-477-8977.
One of the joys of owning a dog is going places together. Kurgo's award-winning line of pet travel products makes this easier and safer for your pet. The Kurgo line includes everything from a backseat barrier, which keeps Fido in the back seat, to an auto zip line to keep your dog secure. And for the little guys, Kurgo has a Skybox booster seat, which provides them with a clear view of the road. If you're going somewhere with your dog, visit Kurgo.com. That's KURGO.com.
Celebrating our connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio.
Okay, well, let's hit the phones at 1-866-405-8405. By the way, more details about that IAMS cat food recall coming up in just a few minutes with Bobbie Hill in news. And Dr. Debbie's here. How are you doing, Doc?
Hey, I'm doing really good today. Sweating it up out here.
And let's go to line 4, and I believe we have Jeff there. Hey, Jeff, how are you doing?
It's fine. I'm a truck driver. I'm driving through Atlanta right now.
Driving through Atlanta?
Yeah, I'm on my way home.
And do you travel with your animal?
No, they took him out of the truck because, I don't know, I could try to get him back. But it's my wife's dog I'm dealing with.
Okay, well, I got the doctor here, so what's up?
It's a Chihuahua. He's a male. He's 5 years old, pedigreed. And he's never, he's marking my house, and he's humping on his toys.
Okay, so I'm guessing this boy's got two things dangling between his hind limbs, huh?
Right. He's not
okay.
Now, my question was, if I have him neutered, will that stop? Or is that going to continue on?
Well, what you're describing, those are sexual behaviors. So while it's impossible to say it won't happen at all, they're driven by hormones. So an intact male dog is very likely to hump on objects or people, and definitely marking is part of their communication. So my number one recommendation is, he makes a better pet, and it's healthier for him to get him neutered. So yes, I wouldn't hesitate to get that done. And only in some rare cases do we see dogs that will still mark, or that will still have some of those over-sexual behaviors like the humping and that. And in those cases, we have to kind of deal a little bit more training-wise with that.
Oh, that's good.
Definitely.
Because, he's the inside dog. He only goes on a leash. And I've been trying to find a female. Made him, these are some awesome dogs.
He doesn't need to breed just because he's awesome. You love them all the same. And everybody wants to breed their dog because they want to pass on the good genes. But you know what? Every day at the shelter, even here in Las Vegas, Chihuahuas, pure breed Chihuahuas, are put to sleep because they don't have homes. So I would stop you before you even think about breeding, just for the sake of, breeding on his good genes. Really. So yeah, I'd embrace castration. Go ahead and get this little fella neutered, help his behavioral problems. And then also, it helps to, save a life, because, those pups that might be born, would displace the hopeful adoption of some other dogs that are already waiting.
What kind of cancers can we avoid if we get neutered and spayed?
Well, in male dogs, definitely testicular cancer. It helps to decrease risk of prostate cancer in male dogs. There's even some skin tumors in male dogs that are hormonally driven. So those can be eliminated or wiped out with castration. In female dogs, there's a lot. Mammary cancers. If we spay a dog before they go into heat, we can make the risk of breast cancer 0. If you wait until after they've had a few heats or let them have, babies, that risk of breast cancer goes up. So spaying also saves female dogs from having the problem of pyometra, which is an infection in the uterus, which is very, very serious, life-threatening, completely preventable by getting them spayed. So, yeah, there's overwhelming evidence to recommend spaying and neuter.
1-866-405-8405 to connect with anyone of the Dream Team right now.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
Celebrating our connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio. Here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
Is it Jessie? What's going on with your cat today?
She's about 2.5 years old. Last Friday, she started throwing up in the middle of the night. And it was, looked like just partially digested food. Went on till Monday, and I went ahead and took her to the vet there in town. The vet did a feces test and felt around on her and everything and said, well, I can't really find anything that's wrong. She gave her an antibiotic shot and an anti-nausea shot.
Okay.
Sent me home with some antibiotics. In liquid form, told me to mix it up with her food or give it to her straight every day until it was gone. And so if the throwing up didn't quit within a couple of days, bring her back. Well, the anti-nausea medicine apparently worked because she didn't throw up for 2 days.
Okay.
And she's back to throwing up again. If we feed her soft food, it seems like she holds it down. But anytime she gets a hold of any of that hard food, it comes back up.
Okay. Well, and are you feeding any particular diet?
Normally it's just Purina cat chow indoor formula.
Okay.
And that's what she's always been fed.
Okay. Well, we certainly can see some food intolerances or food sensitivities, if you will, and that could be to not only ingredients, different proteins or carbohydrates, but it could also be to the different preservatives in food. So while it is possible that your pet does better with canned food than versus a dry, I don't know if I'm going to completely kind of blame your situation on that. And I guess I'd still be wondering whether or not there's something else going on. And kitties, vomiting is, I got to be honest, it's one of the most frustrating things that we veterinarians deal with, because cats are just so silent about these things, and vomiting could be anything from a hairball that's building up in that stomach to a liver problem, to a foreign object that they ingest, to parasites. So there's so many different gamuts of causes of that, and if it's still continuing with the conservative care and with what they've done so far, I guess my gut instinct next would be I'd probably get a couple things to help us make that decision where to go next. And that would be getting an x-ray and even a blood panel on your baby. Now, food-wise, if she does well in the canned food and you're happy continuing that and she seems to be thriving, then I don't see a problem with that. But as far as my concern would be that we might just be finding something that kind of temporarily relieves some of the symptoms but doesn't quite resolve it completely. So that would be my suggestion here. And as far as, the other option is there's some very good diets that we can use for a pet that has a sensitive stomach or that has some kind of digestive upset, and they may be a temporary diet. So you can always talk to your veterinarian about that if you're not on board for kind of looking into things. But, I can tell you that, I know Hal and Judy, we've been through some issues as far as with your kitty, as far as with dealing with some vomiting issues, and it took a lot of work to kind of find the bottom of the problem there.
Right. Well, the thing that bothers me most, I guess, is that from the time she was a kitten, she was an outside cat. She'll come inside to eat and use the bathroom. She won't go to the bathroom outside. We've always tried to keep her in the house, but she refuses. And she's so fast, you open the door, she's gone.
Okay.
And so even the vet brought up, and I had thought that before I went to the vet, was that maybe she had got a hold of something outside, ate a bird or something, but the vet, the reason I guess why I'm calling you guys is because the vet that I went to wasn't the normal person that day. It was a younger girl, and I just kind of worried about the experience that she had.
Okay. Now, I got to say, I have kind of a youthful look about me, and I get it almost, maybe since I hit the big 4-0, I don't get it all the time. But I used to get all the time where people would say, you're just too young to be a vet. And,
no, I didn't mean it like that.
But I've been on the other side of that, and I understand what you're getting at, is that if you don't feel comfortable with the information you're getting, it is, it's our job as pet caretakers to make sure we find the resources that we are comfortable with. So, if you didn't just quite click with that person and you didn't feel comfortable, then, maybe get a second opinion. But I would say here at my office, I tend to be a bit investigational. I like to, if we don't find some improvement with this conservative therapy, I really would want to get some more ammunition here. What do we need to be battling here? Do we have something in there, like you had mentioned, like a bird or a piece of foreign object or something like that? I'd want to make sure that we're not missing things there. So I would say, let's go looking a little bit more.
You'd be running all kinds of tests, wouldn't you, Doc?
Well, now you make me sound like I'm kind of some kind of nut there.
No,
but no, but definitely with a vomiting situation, some of the basics would be a fecal test, a basic blood panel, and then X-rays. And those would make good sense to me for any kitty that would be having ongoing vomiting problems. So
go back to the doc and get those tests if you haven't gotten them yet. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I absolutely will.
Okay, thanks for your call today. 1-866-405-8405. No, what I was just saying there, Doc, is that you're very aggressive with your treatment, and that's why you're the Animal Radio vet. That's why you're answering listener questions. This is a good thing. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you.
Make sure that he holds on there, because we were going to give him some World's Best Cat Litter so I can sit down. If you want to get $3 off World's Best Cat Litter, head on over to animalradio.com and hit the World's Best Cat Litter banner and get a coupon that you can print off right from the website. Big news, cat food recall. Yes.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, we're going to take an IAMS. They're doing, again, it's a voluntary recall, and I'll tell you the reasons behind it, and it has to do with the health and nutritional well-being of your pet. So you want to stay tuned. That's coming up in the news.
Okay, and you'll have the lot numbers and the dates and all of that stuff.
I will, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm looking at a picture of a cat right now on the internet that was, did you see this one over here?
No, I can't
They brought the cat in for a lion's cut, which, a lot of long-haired cats will get that in the summer. They think it's going to cool them down. Apparently the groomer cut the cat in 3 places. It required sutures, and they didn't tell the owner. So there's a big lawsuit going on.
That's bad.
That's in Jacksonville.
You know what? There's also a lot of bad pet owners, because I seen once, and this is the truth.
Yes.
A dog that came in so knotted and so matted that we had to clip the dog down to the skin as if it was going into surgery.
Wow.
The dog's ear underneath the mat, the flesh was dead. It was rotted, and the ear actually came off. Had nothing to do with anything that we did, thank God.
Gosh.
But the ear actually came off because it was just strangled by being matted to the head.
Dr. Debbie wants to start a new segment. She wants to know if it'd be too much to start bitching about all the bad pet owners. We could get Joey in there. We could just have a whole new segment. You stupid pet owners.
Yeah.
That's great.
Do you think that would take off?
Segment.
Let us know. 1-866-405-8405.
Hey, this is Big Ant from Rescue Inc. Remember, spay and neuter your animal, and abusers are losers. Now back to Animal Radio.
Celebrating our connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio.
And welcome. Getting all situated here. Ladybug the studio stunt dog in place. Boog the studio cat. And most importantly, Dr. Debbie answering your vet medical questions. Vladi, the world-famous Russian dog wizard, in rare form today.
Happy birthday, Vladi.
He's really, really drunk?
Yeah, I celebrated his birthday yesterday. And this is a guy who drinks all the time. He actually didn't want to come in today. He is a professional. And speaking of professionals, Bobbie Hill, working on news. Animal communicator Joy Turner, bridging that gap between, if you have a communication problem with your animal, she can figure it out for you. Whether they're alive, they've passed, maybe you're having a behavioral issue right now that you just like to address with them directly with Joy Turner. She can do that. Susan Sims from Fido Friendly Travel, Fido Friendly Magazine here today. I feel like I should be hungover today, but I'm not. I have no reason to be, but I'm talking like it today. It's toll-free. Also got a cat food recall in the news coming up in just a few minutes, and a Florida man who...
It reminded me of one of those home decorating shows, Hal.
What happened?
Where do you place your stuffed water buffalo head?
Yeah. Well, it depends how you hang it, because if, around here in earthquake territory, you got to, wherever you put anything, you got to be careful, because it could land on you.
Well, don't place it anywhere like above your bed or your chair or your couch or someplace where you're going to be.
Apparently. Yeah, this guy in Florida didn't listen to any of that.
Uh-oh.
We'll tell
you what happened to him in the news.
Bobbie, where do you put your buffalo head?
First of all, I don't have a stuffed buffalo head because I am not a hunter. And I got to bet this guy probably didn't take down this water buffalo himself. He might have bought this at a garage sale. I'm just guessing.
After the show, we're doing the drawing for the big poop bag dispenser, so we'll have the winner next week. Yes, finally.
All right.
The contest that would never end.
We just didn't come up with a good name for other than the poop bag contest.
It sort of gained momentum by itself. There were no rules or anything, and there's going to be a random drawing on this. We heard a lot of great stories. And some
rules are fascist.
Really, they are.
We just make them up as we go along.
They're so 90s.
Yeah.
We're all American.
So, Vlad, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great, but very tired. Interesting enough, my professional career in California is just heating up. People more and more now recognize me as the ultimate trainer and coming to me all over. So now I have a 3 months waiting list for the people.
3 months? Wow.
3 months waiting list. And, I would like to share something. If I could give our listeners, my best professional advice, again, I would talk to them about nature of prevention. We're really calling to the doctor when we have a disease, but we don't bother to go to the doctor for regular checkup. Interesting enough, most of my clients who calling me, they don't call me because they want to teach their dogs basic manners. They call me because their dog has already bit someone. They call me because the dog has already chewed all their house and, did a lot of destruction. And now it's becoming more difficult because it's like behavioral disease. You've got it so far to the extent, so now it's becoming difficult to fix it. So that is why, it's a much cheaper, less stress on the dog and the owner to prevent anything than to fix it. People do not believe that the puppies comes to your life completely trained, or they're gonna just be trained on their own. It's not going to happen. It's if you have a child, you send to the school. Now you have to choose. You can choose the public school, you can choose private school, you can choose, but at least give your dog some education. It is very, very important.
You heard it right there from Vlade, the world-famous Russian dog wizard. Preventative maintenance is the best way to stay out of problems down the line. 1-866-405-8405 to talk to anyone of the Dream Team right now.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
Celebrating our connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio. Here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
If this is your first week, welcome to Animal Radio. Every week we all get together to celebrate our connection with our pets. We have Dr. Debbie. She answers your vet medical questions. Bobbie Hill, she's always here 5 minutes before the show even starts. No excuses. She's our social networking butterfly. She's a technological guru. She has all kinds of electronic equipment that right now I believe she's just using that internet thingy that I thought would never take off. But you're like surfing? Is that what you're doing on the web?
You know, here's the difference between, World Wide Web, that thing you said would never take off, Hal. Here's the difference in the generations. Yes. Today's generation was raised with computers. Hal's generation, my generation, we grew up with Etch-a-Sketch.
Yes, I still have.
So, and so here's the correlation. You know, once you have an Etch-a-Sketch that crashes, there's no way you're ever going to recover that data.
When you turn it upside down, you lose everything.
Yeah,
and it doesn't ask you before.
Yeah, you can't reboot an Etch-a-Sketch.
No, and you can't save it either.
I see that you have bear pictures up on your screen there, like you're doing some kind of bear research.
You know, I love to find crazy stories and all things odd in the news, which is what the internet really is great for, that and porn. There was, if you're a mall rat and you love hanging out at the malls, if you were in Scranton at the Viewmont Mall a couple weeks ago, you may have noticed a 400-pound black bear on the roof.
Oh.
Then again, maybe you didn't, but yeah, there he was. He didn't like what was in the trash cans out back. So he climbed on the roof, and that's where police found him, and they tranquilized him, which, you know, police are often... Well, they had some help from the Pennsylvania Game Commission. They were called in, and they had to use a forklift to get the bear off the roof. What
is a bear doing in Scranton? That seems like kind of big city, isn't it?
Pennsylvania, big black bear. Come on, that's their territory. Oh, okay. They live everywhere they want to live. Anyway, he's currently being relocated onto some state game lands in the Scranton, Pennsylvania area. But it amused me. Bears going to the mall, only in Scranton.
I understand the big songbird smuggling case is back in the news, and those guys have been sentenced.
Do you remember those guys? Yeah, we got the news on the sentencing. They're doing time in federal prison.
Just for smuggling songbirds?
It's a very serious offense, Hal.
Okay. They put them in their pants, didn't they? They were trying to go through the airport.
Well, yeah, the guy named Dong, which just amuses me, mostly because I get to say that in a newscast.
Sunny Dong,
I'll give
right?
you all the details coming up in the news.
I'm just waiting for that, and also information on the voluntary recall of some IAMS cat food. All the details on the way. Toll free. Also here today from Fido Friendly Magazine, Susan Sims and Vlade, the world famous Russian dog wizard. We're all toll free at 1-866-405-8405. Hey, Will, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Where are you today?
As good as can be.
Well, good as can. I hope that's good. You sound okay.
Yeah, well, I am. I guess it's my two dogs that are working on being heroes. We got two Great Danes, and at this point, they both have osteosarcoma, otherwise known as bone cancer.
Gosh. Oh, well, how old are they?
The first one that was diagnosed is now 7.5, and he's 19 months from his original diagnosis, which is, I guess, really good.
That's phenomenal.
He had a tumor in his right rear leg, and we started out with a palliative radiation. He ended up with a hairline fracture in the tumor, so we did amputation, and we didn't think a Great Dane could do amputation, but he proved us wrong. He's done excellent with the amputation. He had 6 rounds of chemo, and then February this year, so that would make him about 13 months post-diagnosis. Originally, he was diagnosed with a second bone tumor in his right front leg, which we did palliative radiation and 2 more chemo treatments with him. And anyway, we're up to 19 months with him, and the day before yesterday, our other Dane, who is it's a 9-year-old female, she was diagnosed with osteo in her right rear femur. And she has a weak elbow on the right front. We're pretty much deciding that the amputation's out of the question for her, just because of, if she went lame with the right front.
Right. She doesn't have a good leg already to stand on there. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we're kind of in it a little bit, and we know quite a bit about it, but didn't know if you had any other thoughts of. We've kind of talked about limb spare a little bit, but don't know if we really want to try to go that route. But at this point, we're kind of planning on doing palliative radiation with the female, and then possibly chemo after that. We have to talk more about that later.
And definitely, I commend you, Will, because osteosarcoma is a very aggressive bone cancer, and it's very common in large breeds, especially the giant breeds. And typically, we see Rottweilers would be like the biggest poster child for osteosarcoma, but Great Danes definitely very highly represented. And a 19-month survival rate really attests to your dedication and to the great medical care that your pet has, because that is a wonderful duration to be still wagging that tail and to be with you, even though you're fighting the good fight. The more therapies and the combinations we can use, definitely the better chance that we're going to have a good outcome. And I didn't ask where you're having this done. Is this at a veterinary school or at a research or at a referral clinic?
Actually, a referral clinic. If you want me to mention the oncologist's name, I can. She's in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And her name is Dr. Ann Jeglum, and
great.
She's in Westchester, Pennsylvania. And she's done real well with us. I'm also part of a support group that we found on Yahoo that's actually probably the only thing that's really gotten my wife and I through this. And they're actually called Bone Cancer Dogs, Inc. They're a nonprofit organization and have a .org site.
Well, I mean, as far as a lot of the new therapies that are out there, probably are best to be spoken by the oncologists that use that. But there are a lot of the different clinics and referral clinics across the country that are doing different aspects of osteosarcoma research and work. And some of them will be working on, like, the targeted radioisotopes. Some are big into looking into the gamma knife radiation therapy, and some of the newer drugs, the aminobisphosphanates, are used somewhat in people, and that's also found some use in dogs with osteosarcoma. So kind of depends on what's in your geography, what different therapies are available, and whether any of these other palliative treatments might even be on the table for discussion. So that somewhat would kind of be in the area you're at, but I would definitely, especially since you're looking at your female, where we're not looking so much for surgical options, we're looking more for palliative. Some of those options might be more in line for where you're directing.
Would you know anything about a drug called pamidronate?
I know just a little bit, but that is definitely one of those that the oncologists have used. As far as like efficacy and all that, I probably can't tell you because I don't use that on a daily basis. But there has been some success, and some different oncologists are using that.
Okay. Well, as I say, the one thing that I really wanted to pass along for anybody else that might be out there that's in with bone cancer at all is this Yahoo group, because they're the most supportive people. And as I say, they have a .org site. It's bonecancerdogs.org. It's a full of information and
we're going to put that link up over at animalradio.com. Judy, can you see it today? Bonecancer.org. What is it?
Bonecancerdogs.
Bonecancerdogs.org.
Yeah, it ends up all being one word all together. All three of them just go together, and it's a resource that, as I say, without probably my wife and I would never gotten through the first 2 months of our original Dane's diagnosis.
Well, it sounds like you're doing a great job so far. We wish you all the best of luck. Our prayers are with you and your dogs.
No, thank you very much. We greatly appreciate it.
Thanks.
And as far as the toenails and the walking, I get to about the first quarter mile and my toenails start to get cut back enough that my toes start to hurt.
Thank you for calling today, and thanks for listening to Animal Radio. 1-866-405-8405, of course, talking about Joey and Joey's suggestion for cutting nails back. By the way, Joey's tips are great. If you missed any of them, they're over at the website. And if you missed any of the radio show, there's a podcast downloadable after the show airs nationwide. AnimalRadio.com.
As your best friend settles into middle age and shows signs of slowing down, SeniorPetProducts.com is there to help your senior pets live to the fullest by providing the latest news, information, and products for health, wellness, comfort, and mobility. At SeniorPetProducts.com, you'll find everything your aging pets need, from vitamins and supplements to diapers, boots, and accessories that'll make their senior years more comfortable, all at the lowest prices available. Thousands of products for the life of your pet. SeniorPetProducts.com.
When Animal Radio picked America's top vet, they wanted to make sure that your animal's health came first. That's why they picked the Paso Robles Veterinary Medical Clinic. Treating animals for over 50 years with the latest diagnostic tools in their full-service hospital, the Paso Robles Veterinary Medical Clinic always puts your pets first. Call 805-238-4622 or visit them at PasoVets.com. That's Paso, P-A-S-O, Vets.com to get the best care for your pet.
Let's face it, life happens, from spills to pet stains. One Shot Plus Multi-Purpose Cleaner attacks everyday stains, eliminating the need for other cleaning products. Pet stains, crayon marks, mildew, one shot, and it's gone. Safe for the environment, your pets, and your family. Call 1-800-874-7070 and mention Animal Radio. That's 1-800-874-7070. Or go to OneShotPlus.com to get yours now.
Why read a newspaper in the age of the Internet? Because you take the time to think things through, like your love of animals. You want to know where your voice and donations can be most effective. Animal People is the newspaper for people who care enough about animals to give real thought to how best to help animals. Request your free sample copy at www.animalpeoplenews.org.
This is Greg Biffle on Animal Radio, and remember to spay and neuter your pets.
This is
Animal Radio.
Vlade has asked us to whisper all day today.
Keep it down.
He celebrated his birthday yesterday, imbibing in vodka. And he has reverberations today. How you doing there, Vlad?
Oh, barely alive. Had a wonderful celebration yesterday. Not just vodka, also a lot of flowers. And my Mika gave me the big kiss. Am I right, Mika? Right? Yeah. So
now, so you're 25 years old, huh?
Yeah, I'm always 25. I'm ageless, you know.
Ageless and priceless and toll-free at 1-866-405-8405 to talk to Vlade. We have Myra on the phone. Hi, Myra.
Hi there. How are you?
Good. Where are you today?
Actually, I'm traveling from Texas back to Oklahoma.
Texas to Oklahoma. I have Vlade on the line here. How can we help you?
Well, I have a fabulous border collie that we adopted when he was a year old.
Myra, 1 second, please. Myra, you should start. Sure. Happy birthday, Vlade.
Oh, happy birthday, Vlade. I just had a birthday as well. I just had a birthday on June the 9th.
Oh. Yeah, so you're a Gemini like me.
That's correct. Aren't we a little crazy?
A little.
Oh.
Explains it.
So
that's why I get along with the border collie so well.
Okay, so go ahead. What is your problem?
Well, we adopted him when he was a year old. His owner gave him up because he was not willing to continue to train him. He loves to chase cows, which is his job, but he does not know how to stop. And since we've adopted him, we have horses. So therefore, he wants to train, he wants to chase our horses. Mm-hmm. And he's almost several occasions been killed by the horses because he does not hear our commands. Once he gets in his mode of chasing, it's almost like the whole world turns off to him.
I can relate it. For everyone who is listening, guys, Border Collie, this is type of a dog who can knock in your door 5 o'clock in the night, if she can knock in, or just approach to your bed. Look in your eyes, like I'm painting, like what we're gonna do next. That dog can be run around all day long, come back to you, and just ask for more. So that's what we're dealing with. Now, you've got a good breed in your situation because you do need it. You can afford to have a dog like that. But you have a problem. And here is the solution. And again, people, I am not trying to make the enemies with anyone who is listening to me right now, but everybody knows. Nobody can put or condom on this microphone or sanitize my language. I speak as it is. You like it or hate it. So this is what it is. In your situation, my dear Myra, and I so appreciate you calling me because you're going to get this straightforward solution. Right. The only way, this is one of the few cases where I am truly and strongly alibied using remote controllable electronic collars.
Yep,
because in your situation, yes, it's not the shock collars. They evolve to the point there is no shock anymore, is there?
No, there's beeping noises as well.
It is, and after that, create the static. Like if I meet you, like yesterday, you would come to my home. I had about 35 people, and I just shake your hand. And, after that vodka, we're all full of electricity. And I touch you by the hand, and you're, oh, what is this? It's like a startling, like a lightning strike or something like that.
We have that a lot in Oklahoma since we're so dry there.
So, my wife is using the same device in her face. It's electric stimulations. So she would still be such a beautiful and young as she is.
Wow.
A lot of men using the electronic stimulations on their stomach to make sure rid of the belly. Electricity, people is such afraid from this, but it's people not the shock collars anymore. So that's the situation. That's going to be my quick fix. Right. I would look at the model Dogtra DOGTRA 300M. That's the model.
That is exactly what we bought, and we haven't used it. That is exactly what we bought, because that's what we thought would be the solution. But when I was traveling, I heard your radio show, I thought, okay, I know he'll give me the right answer.
Well, I'm not afraid. I mean, right now, 80% of the listeners say, oh, how Vladi could even open his mouth and tell about this.
No, I agree. I do, and he's so fabulous that it would kill me. Exactly.
Sometimes Myra, in our life, sometimes we need to choose between bad and worse. This is not the perfect things, but the worst things, what could happen? You could killed by those horses or something else, and it's not joy to have a dog like that. But listen, here's what I would do. So I will put this electronic collar on, and I would make sure it's tight enough. And you should have medium prongs. If you have a small prongs, it's not going to work. Mm-hmm. And after that, I will just set this problem up. But before I do that, I probably will put your dog on the 30-foot leash. And I want to make sure I would do it in the setting environment. I want to get it in the situation so the horse can run back and forth. And your attitude should be, okay, I'm sick and tired from that behavior, tried a lot. I called Vladi. He said, just use it. I'm truly alibied, and I'm determined. So make my day, baby. So at any time when he just thinking, that's for everyone who is listening, whatever corrections you people use, this one or Pet Convincer, which is very humane alternative, it's not going to work in your way because you have to use a remote controllable device. Or shaking can, or come on, leash correction, whatever you use. You know what, Myra, and I speak between the lines, like in Russia we used to, under KGB influence. So the best time to correct the dog for chasing the cat Hell, listen, please.
Okay.
The best time to correct the dog for chasing the cat, when the dog not is chasing the cat, when the dog is not coming back to you from chasing the cat, when the dog is thinking about chasing the cat, when the dog changing the body language. From that time, it will not take Myra too much to correct your border collie for chasing that horses. But don't start from 40, 60. Start from 80 power, because that color is not strong enough in generally. 80, 90% will be fine. Always start from the strong enough to go down. Never raise it gradually, because you will desensitize your dog. You set this problem up, you win 3-4 times, you're done with this problem. But as the alternative, you should always do obedience training, because even when you say, make sure when you push the button, you should scream and say, ah, or no, so the dog would think it comes from you, not from the horse. Of course, it's understandable. But you should do obedience training, because this is what you will address your dog's cause of the problem, and the electronic collar will shoot the symptoms. Thank you for calling.
1-866-405-8405 to talk to Vlade, the world-famous Russian dog wizard, right now.
Did you know Jacques Cousteau is dead, but if he was not dead, he'd be 100? Why do they do that?
They give us birthdays of dead people.
I know.
Like 100.
So-and-so is dead, but if they weren't dead, they'd be 312 years old. Yeah, guess what, though? They're dead. Sorry, I just needed to vent. Thank you.
And this is the place for you to do that.
Yeah, I get that.
We're very lucky to have this microphone in front of us to be able to do that. And use it not only to vent, but to spread good, like Stella and Chewy's.
Good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So we discovered this
Stuff,
food.
Maynard.
It was, we got this. It was one of those samples we get.
Mm-hmm.
We get lots of food samples here, and we figured we'd try it out and see if it was any good.
Can't hurt. I like the ingredients, so.
It has no added hormones, no
Right.
antibiotics. It's
Or lack of ingredients, I should say.
meat that is raised naturally.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's all good to say the diet's good, but will the dog eat it? That's the real question.
That's the test with Ladybug.
And she just goes crazy over it. It's been going crazy over it for a long time now.
One food I can count on that she will eat.
They also have those chicken treats, which is just chicken. They're good for your cats as well as your dogs. So check out the dinners that they have, chicken and beef and duck dinners, novelty diets in a freeze-dried form, freeze-dried patty, so you don't have to open a can. And they're light if you travel, if you're a trucker. Check out Stella and Chewy's, StellaandChewy's.com. Get a free sample, by the way. We'll send you one. Just send us a self-addressed stamped envelope. Our address is over at the animalradio.com website for your free sample of Stella and Chewy's.
Speaking of good taste in my mouth, I'm going to fess up to something
Okay,
here,
okay.
So it was me. It was me with the damn donut.
In the microwave?
Hold on. Time out. Hold on.
Okay.
I clean that microwave spotless, which means somebody dirtied me out that's seen me. And where I come from, that's a no-no. We don't squeal. So as soon as I find out who squealed on me, because I put it in there and I was looking out the window and I didn't realize it exploded. So I never got to eat it. But I cleaned it out spotless.
Okay.
So somebody.
Okay.
I find out who it is.
I have new respect for Joey.
Yeah, I'm just afraid of whoever it might be that outed him.
Hal, you're sweating over there. You're looking
Just
a little
bit.
nervous.
A little flop sweat is what I got going on there. Hey, Joey, how are you doing? Aren't you glad you're on the phone?
I am, and if you're going to do donuts, I sure could do cream-filled donuts.
Oh, cream-filled, okay.
Like custard?
Yeah. Now I'm really...
Yeah.
Listen, Dr. Debbie is here to answer your vet medical questions. Dog father Joey Villani, animal communicator Joey Turner, Susan Sims from Fido Friendly Magazine, and Vlade, the world-famous Russian dog wizard. Toll free. 1-866-405-8405 right now.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
Dogs or cats, horse or emu, animals are people too.
You've seen Dancing with the Stars. How about Dancing with a Dog? Yes, there's a new dance craze sweeping the nation. It's doggy dancing. Dancing with your dog for fun, competition, and exercise, sometimes in coordinated costumes. Videos of this doggy dancing have been popping up on internet sites like YouTube, while other doggy dancing enthusiasts compete at fairs, horse shows, and rodeos. Colorado will be the site of 2 competitions held this year by the World Canine Freestyle Organization. Competitors who dance to everything from country to disco say their dogs enjoy it just as much as they do. And doggy dancing is big all around the globe. In England, canine freestyle has become so popular that it's now included in the world-famous Crufts Dog Show. There are doggy dancing organizations in Australia, Holland, Japan, and South Africa. So don't get left behind. Put on some music and start doggy dancing. 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm Britt Savage for Animal Radio. Animals are people too. Animal Radio.
Hi, I'm Victoria Jackson, and you're listening to Animal Radio.
This portion of Animal Radio brought to you by
Herb Springer's Quick Release Dog Training Collar. Very humane, very gentle. Find a store near you at animalradio.com.
This is an Animal Radio News Update, brought to you by World's Best Cat Litter, the only litter made from whole kernel corn.
I'm Bobbie Hill for Animal Radio. A voluntary recall of IAMS cat food was announced by parent company Procter & Gamble on June 9th. Products affected are all variety of IAMS Proactive Health canned food for cats and kittens in the 3 and 5.5 ounce cans with expiration dates of September 2011 to June 2012 printed on the bottom of those cans. The company initiated the voluntary recall after tests found insufficient levels of thiamine or B1. That vitamin is an essential part of supporting the health of the central nervous system of kitties everywhere. Good news for 48 neglected horses in Kentucky. The ASPCA announced a grant of $5,000 for the rescue group Speak Up for Horses. The organization was able to adopt the horses and begin their rehabilitation after they were found in deplorable conditions in 2009 on a Breckinridge County farm. Authorities raided that farm, charging the owner with animal cruelty after 11 horses were found dead, with the other 48 starving. Speak Up for Horses helps rescue horses bound for slaughter and partners with other equine groups to rescue horses at risk. And updating a story of bird smuggling that we brought you last April. 2 Orange County men arrested in connection with a songbird smuggling case have been sentenced to federal prison. Ringleader Duck Lay will serve 6-month sentence and pay a $2,500 fine in restitution. I'm sorry, that's $25,000 in restitution. Big difference. And Sonny Dong, who's got the funniest name in the news ever, he's the actual smuggler, and he's going to serve 4 months and pay $4,000. Dong was arrested at LAX after authorities noticed bird droppings on his socks and feathers poking out from his pant legs. A search found that Dong had 14 birds strapped to his ankles with another 51 stowed in his luggage. I'm Bobbie Hill for Animal Radio. Get more breaking animal news at animalradio.com.
This has been an Animal Radio News Update brought to you by World's Best Cat Litter. Here's a tip for traveling with your cat. If she's not familiar with crate travel, consider placing the crate in your home for a few weeks before your departure. Leave the door open and occasionally toss in a treat or two. Sooner or later, your cat will view the spot as a comfortable retreat. Get more tips at www.worldsbestcatlitter.com/radio.
Animal Radio is brought to you by Natural Balance Pet Food, the finest food you can buy for the health of your pet. No matter which line of Natural Balance Pet Food you choose, you know it will truly be the food for a lifetime. Visit www.naturalbalance.net to learn more.
Hi, this is Jenna Fisher on Animal Radio. Please spay and neuter your animals.
You're listening to Animal Radio.
It must be time for Joey's Tip du Jour, brought to you by Senior Pet Products. We spoke to them just a few minutes ago. They have some great things at their website. Not only products, but great information, too. Talking about the older...
My wife's
yes?
spending a lot of money on that website. I just want you guys to know. I mean, she doesn't tell me. Since we've found out about it through Animal Radio.
Of course.
And she's on it all the time, and she's spending a lot of money. But it's for my pets, so I can't complain.
Well,
so
she's also, I just want to say she's spending 25% less.
That's true. She's using the code, right? I assume she's using the code.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. You go to the products, Senior Pet Products website, and right at the front there's the Animal Radio logo, and they have a place for you to put in a product code, a promo code. Can you kill that line over there? I don't know why that's ringing there. Thank you very much. You go over to the website at Senior Pet Products, and they have the Animal Radio logo, and you'll be able to put in the code there, the promo code. The promo code is Radio SPP. as in Senior Pet Products. If you put in Radio SPP and then do your shopping, you'll watch the 25% discount throughout your whole shopping there. It's just
I love it.
Great website to visit, seniorpetproducts.com, and they make Joey's tip possible here. Joey, what do you got for us this week?
Well, grooming isn't just skin and coat. It's everything, okay? So when you come out of a salon, especially when you came out of one of my salons, your dog looked the best they could.
Right.
But there's a lot of things that we couldn't change for you, but we'll teach you how to change it. And one of them that's extremely important is care of the dog's teeth. Now, people would go into grooming salons and want their dog's teeth brushed. The problem with that is this. If I brushed my teeth once every 4 to 6 weeks, I'd have dentures by now, probably.
Yes.
Okay, so the same thing with your pet. You have to take care of them. Studies are showing now, and I got this through a veterinarian friend of mine, that hard food is not does not do as much for the teeth as they thought.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, the same thing with soft food. They say that doesn't cause as much gum and teeth problems as they thought in the past. So what we have to do is we have to get in there and we have to brush their teeth. Now, a real quick and easy way. Number one, start fresh.
Okay.
If your dog has a lot of tartar, go to the veterinarian, have them cleaned. After that, you want to do it yourself. Now, how do I do it? How do I do it cheap, and how do I do it easy?
Yeah.
Real easily. If your dog lets you put his finger in their mouth, because if they don't, then you got to be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Wrap a gauze around your finger. Make paste with some household baking soda and water. And you're going to go in there and you're going to rub it on your dog's teeth. And what that's going to help do is help neutralize acid. It's going to help clean the teeth, and it's going to keep them squeaky clean. It's going to do a great job. It's real inexpensive. It's real easy to do. And for people who just have puppies, you know what? Put your fingers in their mouth, because get them used to this. Because you know what? Gum disease really can contribute to loss of life in the early years. Exactly. It's horrible. So this is it's a grooming tip, because like I said, teeth and a nice smile is definitely part of everything, and I want my dogs, to live as long as possible.
What if you have that dog that you didn't start it as a puppy, and they're not really bright on this idea of you putting your finger in their mouth?
Well, don't put your finger in their mouth. What you want to do is, even if you can get the toothbrush, and you got to be gentle because you don't want to hurt them, and maybe chip a tooth or something like that, because some dogs will snap at it. But just try to get it in there, make it almost like it's as if it's a toy, and get it in there, and then start massaging their gums a little bit. But like I said, you got to start out with a healthy mouth, because if the mouth already has a lot of tartar and buildup, you're probably not going to do anything, and you could do more damage, because now you have teeth that are sensitive. They could be a little bit loose. The gums could start bleeding, and then you're going to have a dog that's really just not going to want you to do it, or you could do more damage. So start out fresh, and if you got a puppy, start them out right away, and you'll have a dog that has a healthy, clean smile.
I got a question. Now, when I put the gauze on my finger...
I'm sorry, you're going to have to call in like everyone else.
No.
1-866.
Hey.
Can we... Oh, we can just let her...
Yeah,
okay, I'm sorry.
Me.
Go ahead.
Okay, so when I put my finger in their mouth with the gauze, do I have to touch every surface that I need to clean, or just once I get it in there, it'll spread, the baking soda will spread?
It should spread, but I mean, you want to try to get it... You want to try to get it as much on the surface area as possible. Now, I know that's not, sometimes very possible to do, but it's still better than doing nothing at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so make sure you take care of
that's a quick, inexpensive way. I mean, you can go out there. There's a lot of different types of toothpaste and other products on the market for that, but this is a quick, easy way to do it. And you know what? Sometimes you don't have time to do that, but everyone has a box of baking soda in the refrigerator.
And it's so very important. We've seen animals in our very own family affected by bad teeth and cavities and infection and all kinds of things that could actually kill them. So please take care of it, not just for their vanity, but for their health. They have a brand new injection. I guess it's not brand new. A couple of years ago it came out, vaccination that actually helps keep their teeth clean, but they need to start with the clean teeth, which is something you got to do. Make sure your vet knows. Bring them over and flip the lips. Let the vet flip the lips.
Flip the lips.
Hard to say. And take care of them. Joey Villani, ladies and gentlemen, on Animal Radio. Let's hit the phones at 1-866-405-8405. We have animal communicator Joy Turner with us. By the way, you can go to her website, find out how to contact her, see a little more about her, have a half-hour, 45-minute session with her, not on the air, But right now it's on the air, and it's toll-free at 1-866-405-8405. I'm sorry, is that Jody? Jody? Hey, yes. Jody, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Is Joy... Okay, hey, Joy, you too. Do your thing.
Okay, perfect. Jody, hi. This is Joy. Who would you like me to talk to for you?
Oh, well, I've got two of them, Roxy and Harley. They're both domestic short-hair cats. They're both 10 years old, same litter. They just turned 10 in April. They're living the happiest life a cat could ever live, very content. We're all one little happy, loving family. But lately I've been kind of getting the little urge to get a new kitten, and I was just kind of wondering how they would feel about that.
They say, well, they actually have two feelings about it. They also feel that there is a new kitten ready to come to you, and they don't like to fight City Hall, as they put it. They don't need a new kitten, but they also don't want to fight the fact that they know it's appropriate to have another one, and there's one waiting to get to you, so... I guess they say they're just going to have to give in and let it happen.
So Roxy's okay with that. She's the one I'd be worried about because she loves me and she's very possessive of me, and I would be worried that she would be a little resistant to that.
She said, well, if you just asked her if she wanted it, she'd tell you absolutely no. She's smart enough to know that, and the thing she wants you to know, the thing she called City Hall was when the souls make agreements. And you do have an agreement to have another kitty to come to you. So she doesn't want to fight what her soul and everybody's in the family soul plus a new kitty soul is saying, even though it's not her personal preference.
Okay.
And she said she'll try to be as good as possible with that cat.
Okay.
Her concern is it's a girl cat.
So she'd rather have a boy?
She said, well, she'd rather have a boy, but she thinks the one that's supposed to come is a girl.
Oh, really? Okay. And how is Harley feeling about the whole thing? He's a little more laid back than she is about stuff in the house.
Yeah, Harley says he's pretty ambivalent.
Oh, really?
If you want her, okay. If you don't, that's okay, too.
Okay, so he doesn't really care one way or the other.
Apparently not.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Hey, thanks for your call today.
And they want to know if you know when that cat's coming.
No, we haven't even discussed. My husband and I haven't even really discussed it yet. So they're not. Tell them it's very much up in the air and very much not necessarily happening. So we don't know.
Okay. Well, they say before you bring that one home, tell them you're going to go look.
Oh, okay.
They want you to keep them advised of where you are in the process.
Okay. I appreciate that. I will make sure that I do.
Hey, Jody, can we send you some World's Best Cat Litter?
Yes, I do.
Can we send you some?
I would love that.
Okay.
That's what I'll use.
Okay, hold on for 1 second there. It's Old Colonel Corn, World's Best Cat Litter. Get a $3 off coupon over at the website at animalradio.com.
Animal Radio is brought to you by SeniorPetProducts.com. As your best friend settles into middle age and shows signs of slowing down, SeniorPetProducts.com is there to help your senior pets live to the fullest with thousands of products for the life of your pet. SeniorPetProducts.com. When it comes to controlling cat box odor, there's no such thing as good enough. Buy the best or smell the rest. In other words, get World's Best Cat Litter with patented formulas made from whole kernel corn. World's Best Cat Litter is 100% natural and scientifically proven to deliver unsurpassed odor control, compact clumping, and longer-lasting use. See what a difference just one bag makes. And for a limited time, save big when you buy. To download a coupon, go to worldsbestcatliter.com/radio.
When I went looking for a quality allergen-free dog food for Roscoe, a friend told me about Canine Caviar. Being a born skeptic, I examined every ingredient and, most importantly, made sure it drove our dog's taste buds crazy. Here's the lowdown. Canine Caviar is holistic, allergen-free, with raw dehydrated meats, herbs, fish oil, and flaxseed for health and joint support. Good food for Roscoe from a company I can trust. Ask your pet store for Canine Caviar. Learn more at caninecaviar.com.
Hello, this is Lauriston Crockett, creator and founder of The Gift for Life. The Gift for Life is the most powerful and effective anti-aging product for dogs in the world. This is a fast-acting product that is far beyond anything else you've ever seen. No more empty promises. I will give you a 100% money-back guarantee if The Gift for Life doesn't help, support, and rejuvenate your pet's health. Order today and change your pet's life tomorrow. www.thegiftforlife.com or call 877-373-6851.
Fido Friendly is the travel and lifestyle magazine for you and your dog. Each bi-monthly issue includes hotel and destination reviews, health and wellness topics, dog training advice, and the latest fashion trends. You can find Fido Friendly magazine at Borders, Barnes & Noble, PetSmart, and Petco, or simply go online to FidoFriendly.com and subscribe today. Fido Friendly is the only magazine dedicated to the travel and lifestyle of man's best friend, and the only magazine your dog will thank you for.
We have a lot of animals here at the Animal Radio studios, and many of them are ill. And well, I don't know what it is. Is it just my touch? I kill plants. I kill all the greenery around here. But a lot of them are ill, and they are under veterinary care. And we're very appreciative that our veterinarian has worked with us, and we ask for help. And if you run into a problem where you have a procedure that needs to be done, we encourage you to see if your veterinarian will work with you as far as a payment plan allowing you. A lot of these new technologies, they're pretty darn expensive. And
you got it, man. We
just learned in the Associated Press PetSide poll that 62% of pet owners can handle a vet bill if it's under $500, but that drops dramatically by 50% if you go up to about $1,000. It's tough to dish out $1,000, especially
cash
out of the blue, cash. If you don't have insurance.
And there are so many other good ways to help pet owners. You mentioned asking your vet to help you, but in this economy, a lot of clinics can be pushed so far in acting as a bank. But pet insurance can help dramatically in being able to afford some of those huge bills that you just don't see coming. So I'm a big advocate for that, for planning ahead for that future disaster or emergency, if you will.
We'll have all the results, more results. I guess, does she? Oh, she gave us all the results. So I'll just shut my yapper? Okay, there you go. Just shut my yapper right now, I'm told. The details on the cat food recall up at the website also. It's the IAMS Proactive Health Canned Cat and Kitten Foods, and the dates are 9/2011 through 6/2012. And again, we mentioned it's not that there's something in this food, it's that there's something that's not in this food. It's and you hear about this recently, a lot of recalls revolving around the lack of thiamine or B vitamin.
Exactly. A B vitamin. It's an important B vitamin for cats. So, if that's all your cat eats, that would be bad.
It seems like the dogs are so much easier to feed, but the cats require such a complex diet. And if they don't have this in it, what will happen to them?
Well, with a thiamine deficiency, which is the B vitamin, they can actually get problems where they have a bent over neck. We can have problems with weakness, trouble getting around, and it's completely treatable with the appropriate supplement. But it can really be a big concern. And I actually saw one of these, a guy who used to feed cereal to his cat.
Oh, no.
Didn't think cat food was really all that important. The cat liked cereal, and then he gave it something else. And it's actually very sad when you see it because, it just breaks your heart when they're having problems getting around like this. So completely preventable, yeah. So
now, if you're feeding this food, this particular IAMS food, and another food, and someone just emailed us this. Is it okay? Will they get the proper nutrition from the other food?
Yes, you're definitely okay. If your cat is eating something else along with this food, then they're getting that thiamine in the other food. So that's not so much the risk. It's really the cat that would be eating this food exclusively and nothing else that we're going to really worry about that deficiency.
Okay, we'll put up the dates and everything over at the website. Consumers should discard any food with these dates and codes. They can call Procter & Gamble and IAMS at 877-340-8826. And we'll put all that information over at the website.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
This is
Animal Radio, baby.
You can connect with any one of the dream team here at Animal Radio at our website, animalradio.com. All of our email addresses are over there, as well as a lot of great resources. Basic training, how to sit and stay, all that stuff that you need to learn for your dog or help with your cat. Or if you're looking for an animal, you want to just browse the pictures of animals that are available for adoption, head on over to animalradio.com. And we got email here. This one's for Vlad. You mind if I read this, Vlad?
Okay, go ahead.
Greetings, Vlad. I have read about you and seen videos of your work. I wish you were located closer to New York since we are in need of your help. My Chow Chow is almost 2 years old, and we're experiencing troubles with aggression. He's kind to members of the family, but sometimes growls at us. He has bitten a family friend recently, and we are worried that this will only get worse. I hope that you can help us, and maybe you could even recommend a fellow Russian-speaking dog trainer in New York City. Hope to hear from you soon. Thanks, Masha.
I guess it was a Russian hot chick. She was. Maybe Chow Chow was like a motif, like something to get in touch with me. Masha, honestly, if you or somebody else is calling me and leaving the voice message about, well, I have aggressive Chow Chow, I probably will never even call you back.
Well, why is that?
Because Chow Chow, certain breeds, and please don't send me those people who hate letters and all the things, because when the Vladi talks, he means the business, and I'm pretty sure there are a lot of sweetheart Chow Chows. I maybe haven't met many of them. I met one, but that one I raised from the puppies, and I turned her into being Chow Chow with a Labrador Retriever attitude. Certain breeds like Chow Chow, Shar-Pei, Akita, and I can add few Huskies and Jack Russell. They must be raised from the puppies in the right way. But once they get out of control, boy, good luck. It's going to be very hard to change it. Everything is possible. It just takes a lot of work. Masha, I would start with the structures. The structures include 3 rules every doggy mother knows, which human mother maybe not. Never give to your dogs any commands you cannot enforce. Always reinforce your commands. Never repeat yourself. Doggy mother says once, and after she snaps. In your situation, I would never take a risk. I would put that dog on the 6-foot clothesline, like in Russia we are, putting the clothes for drying, very light, which would give your dog feeling of being on its own, and I will allow that rope hanging behind your chow. So every time when you say whatever chow's name is, let's say her name is, let's use another Russian name, Tanya. You say, Tanya, come, and chow will tell you, forget your mother. And if you touch me, I gotta bite you. So you say, no, Tanya, I'm not going to play in your games. We're gonna play on my terms. You're gonna grab this rope, not the collar, people. Rope, pull the chow toward you, and as she comes, she's not gonna bite you because you made her come toward you. You did not go to her level. You brought her to your level. You just kneel down, give her a piece of the Russian or Polish kielbasa or whatever best American hot dog at the worst case scenario, full of preservatives, and just say, well, I expect Russians say anything good about American kielbasa.
Of course not.
Okay, and kneel down and give her that piece of hot dog or whatever, and say, good girl, and repeat those few things. So in other words, with this rope, I would always be able to reinforce my rules.
1-866-405-8405 right now.
See, those lyrics we know.
Yeah.
This Healthy Helping of Animal Radio brought to you by Blue Buffalo, makers of healthy and holistic natural food for dogs and cats. You love them like family, so feed them like family with Blue. Check out Blue Wilderness Salmon Dry Food, as well as 2 new delicious canned flavors, Blue Wilderness and Blue Buffalo. Well, we've all been waiting for the whole show, and usually, the last few weeks you've been coming in a little bit dismayed, kind of perturbed, but today you came in giggling, and I like it when you come in giggling.
What's up?
So what's going on? What are these frantic calls that you're getting at the office?
Well, this is fun. This is kind of like Dr. Ruth meets the veterinary world. Okay. So this is the great topics that we kind of snicker about at the dinner table at the veterinary household. Basically, phone call comes in. Gentleman has his 2 dogs, his 2 boxers, and they've been doing the little naughty and kind of humping on each other. But there's a problem, and he's very upset, very frantic. Oh my God, the dogs are stuck together. And they're stuck that way for 15 minutes.
Wow.
And the male's walking one way, pulling the female, and she's kind of crying. And he's frantic. He's tried spraying water on them. He's yelled at them.
Oh, boy.
He's tried food treats. And he's really very agitated and doesn't know how to get them apart. So that I tell him, sit down and light a cigarette because you're going to need to smoke because your dogs can't. They're stuck there, and they're going to be stuck there because that's what dogs do.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yes, when they breed, the male actually swells up to the point where they can't come apart.
For how long?
That can last for 5 minutes to get this, a whole hour.
Wow, okay.
Stuck there. That can happen. It's natural. And during that time, some weird things can happen. They can turn around butt to butt and just look the other way and sit there. But that's normal. It's what they do. And that's why we call it a tie, because they really are tied together at that point. So my little chuckle aside, dogs did fine.
Good.
Separated on their own.
Good. Shades of red I am.
Well, I didn't say anything like the P word.
No, you didn't. Thank you. I'm easily embarrassed. Hey. So what did we learn today? We learned that apparently Vlade has no tolerance to vodka like we thought maybe perhaps he did. We've also learned that if your dogs are stuck together, for heaven's sake, get them spayed or neutered. And we also learned how to tell a small pet vet from a large animal vet. It's going to be next week, by the way, Steve Garvey joins us. We hope you'll be able to join us. In between time, you can get in touch with us at animalradio.com, get your discounts or resources, surf for beautiful pictures of animals that are looking for homes. Pretty colossal website over at animalradio.com. See you next week for more Animal Radio.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Always adopt, don't declaw.
This is Animal Radio
Network.